This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 45 from Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Autobot Drift. Here's a look at the packaging. Very nice box art. Number 45. I picked up this figure at Our Toys. Very excited to get this figure. And let's get him out of packaging. And here is Drift out of packaging. And wow, he looks absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, this is the Age of Extinction Drift. You can see that front grille of the Bugatti, the other alt mode he transforms into. And in this regard, he transforms into that attack helicopter, which we saw in the 4th Transformers movie. Looking absolutely nice. Very, very nice. Some back kibble right there, but that's okay. Some kibble on his legs. You get the missiles, the attack assault missiles right here. You get some kibble on his arms. But overall, I'm liking this look on Drift. So, very cool. He does not come with a stand. This is from the Amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool by Kyoto. He does come with a diorama, that desert scene when Optimus Prime was calling the Autobots to assemble after he's gotten his new body, new alt mode. So pretty cool. Look at that. Optimus Prime. He calls us. Alright, giving you a closer look on the figure. Some very, very nice details about it. Nice sculpting. The samurai armor right there. Drift happens to be a Autobot who thinks he is a Japanese samurai. As I mentioned, lots of kibble here and there, but easily forgivable. You get more armor plating right here. Paint apps in the figure aren't that bad. Head sculpt looks great. Just make sure that the gold is smoothly painted on it, that there are no air bubbles or brush strokes, brush marks here and there. The metallic blue paint on the figure looks absolutely gorgeous. Just make sure that it is evenly painted on where it should be painted on the armor plating. Right here, you see a little bit of inconsistency right there, but that's fine. Gold paint apps overall, very nice metallic blue paint. Very little to complain about in terms of paint apps for this figure. Articulation for the figure, he's got a ball jointed neck. No waist or torso articulation. It's got a ball jointed shoulder, a little bit of a hinge up and down. Right there, it's got a bicep swivel. Yep. And then a hinge elbow. A bit of a hinge motion for the wrist, but that's mainly because of transformation. Ball jointed hip. It's got a thigh swivel. Hinge knee that bends all the way right there because of transformation. Some foot articulation, a little bit of a movement there, but that's mainly because of transformation. Now, if the figure looks vaguely familiar, that's because it is a heavy retool of Studio Series number 22 Dropkick. It's not a repaint or anything like that, but the transformation and engineering is relatively the same. You can even see the feet are exactly the same, and this helicopter pieces right here, they're the same. The knees are actually the same. You look at that. And on the back, the landing gear is just slightly different on this one, on Drift compared to Dropkick, but it's essentially the same engineering, same design of the transformation. But it's not as noticeable the first time you look at it, simply because they've retooled a lot of the parts for this figure. Now, I'm going to bring in the other Drift, the Mercedes-Benz Drift. As you can see, they look very nice together. He's a little bit shorter than this version. This uses the old scale of deluxe class figures for Age of Extinction and The Last Night, but they look great. Incidentally, let's look at the head sculpts. If I'm not mistaken, no, they're not this. They look the same. They look very, very similar, but they look to be the same. Oh no, they're different. And you can see it right there. on his chin. This one is a more narrow chin. That black piece right there is more narrow. This one is a thicker sort of beard. So I was right. They're different, slightly different molds. All right, so let's compare the swords. And as you can see right here, they're different sculpts. This is the latest one, Age of Extinction Drift. Very nice. A little bit smaller than this one. I still prefer this one. This, I think, is the best sword, the best mold of the sword, drift sword, for Studio Series 36. Really liking it. Even the paint has, even the quality of the plastic, I think this is still the best. And this was the original sword from the old early releases of Drift. Not as accurate. I think this one is nice, but it's made of that softer plastic compared to this one. This one is a very rigid plastic. I love the detail on this one though. Show that off. Just wish they painted it a little bit, like with a little bit of gold, since they already had gold paint, or even blue. I wouldn't have minded that, but some gold paint would have been nice. So let's transform Drift into his helicopter alt mode. But before that, as you can see, all the accessories fit or can be stored in robot mode. Let me just put this up. Very nice. The swords can stick on his hip, and he has one last bit of accessory, which is this, the rotor or rear propeller, which can act as a shield. Pretty useless shield if you ask me, but you can mount it on his forearm, that, and it's sort of like a shield, but it's pretty useless since it's hollow. It's not really a solid shield. Unless it's spinning, then it becomes a shield. It can become a shield. Okay, so transform him, get rid of all of his accessories, put them off to the side for the time being. And the missiles right there. And it transforms exactly the same, or very, very similar to Dropkick, the Studio Series number 22 Dropkick. Okay, so first thing you want to do, you want to bend the arms this way, fold them out, and position them 90 degrees like that. Okay, that, like that. That's the position they're going to be in. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to split these two halves of these side panels of his torso, and the instructions just tell you to rip it apart. No, don't do that. You're going to rip these joints right here. What you want to do is you want to split them apart just a little bit so you can put your fingernail in and then pry them out like that. That's how it should be done. Okay, if you try and rip it out like the instructions, you're going to rip off this rivet and this joint. You're going to ruin the figure. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to raise that whole assembly up like that. Bend it like that. Make sure that the samurai armor panels are facing down, and then these tabs are going to tab into those teeny tiny peg holes, or tab right there, those notches right there. I know it looks weird right now, but it's all going to make sense later on. Okay, so then the instructions tell you to just join these two arm pieces together like that. It can be very difficult at this point in time. So what you want to do is open this up like that, and then swivel, just get that head and torso assembly out of the way, since you're going to do that anyway. Tab these pieces right here, and then just join the arm assembly right there and form the tail end of the helicopter right there. Now if you want to keep it solid so it doesn't untab while you're transforming the other pieces, you want to tab the rotor at the back, the flat side up, and the fins are at the bottom. So do it like that. So that's that. Okay, just lift it up a little bit like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to bend the legs forward a little bit like that, rotate like this. Okay, just like Dropkick, rotate and rotate like that, thighs. Okay, then these landing gear go that way, And you want to rotate them this way. Stick them like that. Rotate, do that. Unfold these pieces right here. Bend them, and then these two pieces are going to tab in right there later on. Just fold them this way. Fold up that thigh piece all the way up there, like that. Okay. There, and then they're going to tab in right there, the tail end. Oop. Okay, right there. Now, the next step is to join these two pieces together. Fold out the guns, like that. And they're not going to tab as flush as you want them to. They're just going to sit right like that. It's only these, the parts of the cockpit that are going to sort of tab in, and the rest is just going to be apart like that. There's going to be like a gap right there. That's fine. You don't have to force the issue. It's like it's a diagonal position. Okay. Go ahead and fold these. Fold this down like that. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to join the canopy onto the bottom part of that helicopter. Like that. And then these are just going to tab in like that. And it's a pretty solid transformation. It starts out very flimsy, but once you get it, once you do it properly, it's a pretty solid alt mode. Almost done. Go ahead and rotate these blades right there, and then you can attach the swords, and they'll form the helicopter blades, propellers. Okay, that looks good. And then finally, you just need to attach the rockets. Right there, missiles, ordnance right there. Make sure it's aligned, and there you go. There is Drift in his weird-looking, highly futuristic-looking helicopter alt mode. Somebody tell me in the comment section below if this kind of helicopter actually exists. I don't know if this is an actual helicopter or something Michael Bay just made up, but it looks actually very, very nice. You see that glossy black plastic right here, matte finish right here, some clear plastic for the canopy. Very nice. Just wish they added a little bit more gold paint on it, a little bit more metallic blue. That's that. And speaking of Dropkick, here is Dropkick in his Cobra Attack Chopper alt mode. As you can see, it's really out of scale compared to this guy. He's so small. But yeah. So some final thoughts on the figure. I think Hasbro still owes us a triple changing Drift. I don't think it'll be possible in the Deluxe class scale. It should be a Voyager class. Whether he turns into a helicopter and into a Mercedes, or a helicopter and into a Bugatti, I think we deserve an actual legit triple changing Drift. Having said that, having different versions of Drift is not bad. Normally you display Drift only in one mode or the other, all in robot mode. I like displaying them in robot mode, or in poses. So I suppose it's all right. The figure is a significant improvement on the Dropkick mold. I think it's the better version of that mold. The paint apps are stellar. Hardly any quality issues on the figure. The figure deserves a 9.5 out of 10. Best of luck to everybody hunting it down. And I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this new Drift figure. And hit that notification bell so you never miss out on my latest video reviews. This has been the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 45 from Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Autobot Drift. Thanks for watching.